Peace and blessings. This is Reverend Dr. Kamara Falade Banderowa. This is Are You Titled or Entitled? Today is Tuesday, July 29, 2025, and this is part 4. So I'm going to show you the video. This is the incident. This happened on June 5th, I believe. It was June 5th. And this is the incident that after this, I was just done. I was done. I knew that before this I was in contact with Detective DB, and she had already taken my statement with the previous incidences, and she was attempting to get the neighborhood police officers involved with the neighborhood block club president and myself to do mediation to see if we could work it out before it escalated into criminal charges. And I was willing to explore that option. I really was. But after this incident on June 5th, I remember calling her and I told her I was done. I was like, I don't want to mediate. I said, this woman just threw a rock and a piece of glass at me, and it's clear that she does not want to mediate. She does not want to talk and resolve this situation. And so let's take this to the next level. Like, what do we got to do to take this to the next level? I'm willing to, I guess, if press charges, if that's what it's called, like, I'm willing to press charges. And so this incident that I'm going to show you right now is the incident that just showed me, like, okay, this woman is not interested in talking, mediating. When the police come, she doesn't open the door. None of that. She's just not interested. And the report number for this incident is 2306050417. That is the report number, the police report number for this incident. So here we go. Let's see what's going on. I clicked the next slide. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to push play. And I know you don't see too much going on, but um, something will occur. As you can see, oh, well, you won't see it now, but eventually I was getting my grass cut this day on June 5th, 2023. And I'm only going to play this one time because it's very clear what takes place. And I'm not good at editing, so I didn't know how to put the videos like side by side so you could see where I'm positioned and where so you could see how she threw something at me. So this is just the first video. Oh, y'all probably didn't hear anything I said. Okay. So pay attention to this area. Okay. And this is the footage from the camera that records in real time, but this one doesn't have audio, so you can't hear what she said. But in the next videos, you're going to hear what she said. But pay attention. Pay attention to this area. See, you see her come on the porch and you see her throw. You saw her throw it. So that's when she threw the glass. And then she hid behind the truck. And she waited until the lawn person got out the way. And as soon as he got out the way, watch. See? She threw something again. And then she comes from behind the truck. And then that's when you'll see in the other video, I go into the house. I do run. I run into the house. And she's like, where you going? Where you going? Okay. So that's the first video. All right. And you now in the next video, you're going to hear the conversation that we have between each other, or with each other rather. Okay. So you saw how she threw it. Okay. So let's go to the next. It's going to play it again. So, okay. So now let's go to this one. So you see me coming outside. And basically, I'm telling him I'll clean it up. See, I don't know if you can hear. I'm going to shut up because maybe y'all can hear it. And yeah. So basically, if you can't hear it, you heard me tell him I'll clean it up. I'm going to come out here and clean it up. So I go back in the house to get a broom and a dustpan and some plastic bags to sweep up the grass clippings. So I clicked to go on to the next video, but it's going to play it again. So once it's finished playing, I will click to the next slide, and then you'll be able to hear the conversation. So you saw the rock that was thrown.
What you running for? What you running for? Call the police. What you running for? Call the police. Why are you running? Call the police. Call the police, or what are you running for? Call the police. Girl. Unless you have something else to say. I do. Huh? I will. It's not that deep to be running. Okay, well we can talk. You want to talk? You can do the camera thing. But at some point, we're going to discuss what you did to my house. Okay. We're going to discuss that. Okay. But you can do what you do. Okay. I got you. Okay. You got to play the thing by the book, right? Huh? We're going to do the law thing, right? Okay, that's what we're doing.
All right. So if you didn't hear it, I'm sure you will hear it in the video. So basically you heard her say she was asking me why was I running, where was I going, like, and I should have answered because you just threw something at me, but I didn't. And her husband ended up coming out and he was like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, nothing. I was just talking to her. And I should have been bold enough to be like, no, she's over here throwing things at me. And I didn't. You also heard, if you didn't hear, where I was like, unless it's something that you want to say to me, and she just mentioned something about fixing her house. Like, that's not my responsibility to fix your house. Both of our houses was damaged from the fire. I as an adult, I took on the responsibility of fixing my house. And as an adult, you take on the responsibility of fixing your house. Like you got a whole husband over there. I'm not married. I didn't have anybody helping me. I had to come out my pocket to fix my home. So I didn't understand when she was like, "Oh, well, yeah, we need to talk about fixing my house." And then you lied to your husband like, "Oh, we just talking." No, you're throwing things at me. You all clearly saw from the first video how she stood on her porch. She threw something at me, and then she stood behind the car and threw the rock. So no. Like and then you're gonna ask me where was I going. You knew where I was going, and I told I'm going to call the police, which I did, and I already told y'all what the police report number was. So this is the block club president. This is what she's doing to people who live on the block. This happened on June 5th, 2023, and until this day there has been no explanation to why she did it. All right, now the video is going to play again when I click to the next slide.
Call the police. What you running for? Call the police. Why are you running? Call the police. Call the police, or what are you running for? Call the police. Girl. Unless you have something else to say. I do. Huh? I will. It's not that deep to be running. Okay. Well, we can talk. You want to talk? You can do the camera thing. But at some point, okay, we're going to discuss what you did to my house. Okay. We're going to discuss that. Okay. But you can do what you do. Okay. I got you. Okay. You got to play the thing by the book, right? Huh? We're going to do the law thing, right? Okay, that's what we're doing.
On this video, it was no more interaction after that. But you clearly heard her. And if you didn't, when she was like, are we going to, so what we doing? We going to get the police involved? We going to get the law involved? What we doing? So when she says in the PPO that she filed against me on, and we went to court for February 13th, 2024, clearly when she was saying how she didn't know why the police was coming to her house, but you heard her say on the video, so what we doing? We gonna get the law involved? That's what we doing? And I said yes. So she knew what angle I was coming from. She knew I was gonna get the law involved. I made it very clear to her that I was going to get the law involved. And I asked her, I gave an opportunity. I was like, unless it's something that you need to tell me. And nothing. You can hear on the video she had nothing to say. All she said, talk about getting her house fixed. Nothing. I gave her an opportunity to express her grievances with me, her problems with me, whatever it was. She had an opportunity to say something and she didn't. So I have given several examples of how I've attempted to talk to this woman, to do mediation with this woman, conflict resolution with this woman, and no. But this is how the block club president is acting. You're throwing things at somebody who you're supposed to be fostering community and building relationships with in the community. And clearly she asked me, so what we doing? We getting the law involved? And I said yes. So I already told you what angle I was coming from. And I stood 10 toes down on that. I did. From when I told her that, from that day forward, it was always the law was involved. It was always the police involved. I was always calling the police. I didn't deviate from what I told her I was going to do. So her saying in the PPO she don't know why the police was coming out to her house. Yes, you do. You do know because you engaged in that behavior. So you're a liar saying you didn't know. Yes, you do know. So this video is just, I'll just play it. It doesn't, nothing else went on after that. I think I just asked the line person, like, how much do I owe them? And that's all with this video. And I will say on this one, when I called, she left. They went somewhere, because I went in the house and I called the police. And she left. Her and her husband went somewhere. I don't know if she convinced. I'm not going to assume. All I know is I went in the house and I called the police. And I was hoping, I was like, please let them show up. You know, please let her come back home before the police show up. And she did come back home, but when they went to knock on the door, she didn't respond. All right, so that's the end of that video. So that was, like I said, the police report number for that was 2306050417. So yeah, there you go. Like that incident right there is when I was through. Because before, like I said at the beginning, before that, you know, the detective from the 2nd precinct, she was she was encouraging that we do mediation, and I was open to that. But after that incident, I called her and I said, no, all mediation is off the table. This woman, it's something, I don't know, something mentally wrong with her. I don't know. I'm like, but I'm willing to take it to the next level. And if that means I got to file a report and it's a potential criminal charges, then so be it. I said, because she's not interested in talking. She's not interested in mediation, because clearly after today, she is interested in hurting me. And usually I don't go out the house without my weapon. And that particular day, I didn't have my weapon. I don't care if I'm just going to take the trash out. Like, usually I have my weapon on me at all times. And that particular day, I did not have my weapon on me. And thank God I didn't, because I would have been in jail. Because unless she came toward me with something in her hand to put my life in danger, and if I had to pull that weapon, I would have been wrong. So I'm thankful I didn't have the weapon, but clearly you all saw in the video, she stood on her porch and threw something at me. Like, it was in plain sight. Like, that was her. Of all the videos that I have, that is the one that clearly shows her throwing things at me. And that was just the final straw for me. So that's the last piece. I mean, I got so much evidence, it's ridiculous, but I'm not going to even put any more on here. This is it. This is the final video that I'm going to show of evidence. Thank you so much. Like, this is the neighborhood block club president, y'all. This is how she's treating someone on the block that she is supposed, like I said, she's supposed to be fostering relationship with and building community with. And this is what she's doing. And until this day, I don't know how we got from being neighborly and with the same goal of starting a block club together. We were collaborating together. Go back and watch the videos, and I talk about all of that. Watch all the previous videos. How do we go from collaborating together to building a block club together to her writing a letter um, for my defense to this, to what you just saw? To this day, I don't know why, because she refuses to use her words and talk. So the next video will be the last video. It will just be a finale. It'll just wrap up and where I'll give my final thoughts. So until next time, stay aware and stay grateful.